Jerry Tipton, we'll start with you, and then John Long.
Yeah, Olivier. Coach Cal mentioned on his radio show Monday that Dante shot well in practice Monday. I wondered how well did he shoot?
He shot it really well. I mean, we scrimmaged a little bit, and I mean, he was shooting really well. Yeah.
What difference does that make when he or someone has it going from three?
Well, I mean, that helps us, rely on somebody offensively, and that also space the court for everybody else. So that's great for us. That's always great for us.
John Long.
Hey, Olivier, can you take us back to this time last year when you first heard that the conferences were all canceling their tournaments? Where were you? What were you doing? And what was going through your mind when you first heard?
So at that time last year, we played our first ACC game. We lost the game, so our season was over. And but we were still waiting for the other games in the tournament, and we were in the bus going back to campus, and everything happened really quick. And we've seen every conferences canceling every tournament, and it was crazy.
Having gone through all the challenges of this past year of just playing the games, how much more appreciative are you of being able to step out on the court in the conference and to actually play the games?
A lot more. I think everybody saw how fragile all that went last year when everything happened, that pandemic, and I think we're all grateful to be out there playing the game that we love.
Larry Vaughn, coming to you.
So, Olivia, did you think when this season started we would get to the point there would be postseason play? Were you pretty confident all along this would even happen? Or did you even have some doubts whether we would have tournament play this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us had some questions about it. We didn't really know how the year would go, and lucky enough, we get a postseason and we get a chance to compete. So that's pretty amazing.
John Clay, I'll come to you.
Olivier, obviously Saturday was a big win. What do you hope carries over from that game to when you guys get in Nashville?
Just the intensity, the way we play, the way we share the ball, the way we have fun, the way we had fun, we enjoyed playing, and just how everybody competed and how we just played together as a team.
Gary Graves.
Olivier, how would you describe the urgency now? I mean, obviously it's postseason and it's kind of one and done at this point, but how much did the last month kind of prepare you all for this, despite the record? How did you all come together?
I think we all had in mind that we will have to do big things, one game at a time in the postseason. So we knew that as it was getting closer and closer, we will have to, focus and get ready before every game, and doesn't matter the outcome. And that's what Coach told us, that it would be important just to learn from that and just being able to play winning basketball, and then it will take care of the rest. And I think that's what we try to do every game for the past month, like you said, and hopefully it'll keep going on the run for the postseason.
Terry, I'll go to you, and then we'll start with some follow-up questions.
Olivier, you had a double-double against Mississippi State back in January. How much confidence does that give you personally going into this game?
I mean, it's one game, and you can't just base yourself off of that one game. It was in January, but I think we are prepared. It's a team that we faced already, and we watched a lot of film, and we're doing a great job getting ready for that game, and hopefully we'll be ready when the time comes.
All right, Jerry, I'll come back to you, and then Larry.
Okay. Hi, Olivier. I have a couple. I think it's widely believed you guys have to win 4 games. You have to win the SEC tournament to play in the NCAA. How realistic is that in your mind, winning 4 games?
I mean, I don't think we care about being realistic or anything. We just care about winning games, and we're gonna have to win games. That's all it is. That's the only way we have, and that's the only way we're thinking. We're not thinking about. It's not about a dream or a reality or whatever. It is what it is. So we're gonna go out there, game after game, and take one game at a time, and then we'll see.
And one other thing about Dante, Coach Cal has mentioned that he feels like Dante feels pressure as a home state guy and a big fan favorite. How much pressure do you think Dante feels?
I think he's got some pressure, like we all do. But I can only imagine being from Kentucky and having all these expectations. So I think he got his time sometimes, but like we all do.
Larry Mike, go ahead.
Olivia, I know you said you got to take things one game at a time, but kind of explain to me why, when you have a team that hadn't won 4 games in a row all year, why in your mind do you think that could change and you guys could go and win 4 games in Nashville this week?
You're saying, can you ask that again? Like why? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, to win the tournament, you got to win 4 games in a row. And winning 4 games in a row is something you all haven't done all year. So why, in your mind, do you still think you can go to Nashville and be able to win 4 now?
Because we've shown that we had all these teams, really close. Either we won or we lost by less than 5 points or something like that. So I think it's something that, like you said, we've never done yet, but we show that we're the team that can do it. So we all believe in ourselves.
John Clay.
Olivier, Coach Calipari has a really good record in this tournament. I think he's won it 6 times. Does that give you guys any kind of extra confidence that he's been able to do so well in this tournament?
I mean, yeah, that's great numbers, and I mean, Coach is ready, and I know he will get us prepared, and I know we will be prepared to go out there and compete.
John Wall, come back to you.
Olivier, Coach Cal on his radio show kind of hinted that Terrence may be working himself back from his injury. Have you talked to him, and what are your thoughts on whether he'll be able to help the team or not?
Well, like Coach said, I think that's Coach something that you guys have to ask the coach. I'm not in the position to answer anything about that, but we'll see.
I didn't know if you had talked to Terrence or not about that.
No.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Guys, anything else for Olivier before we go to Keion? There, you got one more?
Yes, sir. Olivier, I think I get the feeling you guys are something of an underdog, especially by Kentucky standards. How much do you guys think of yourselves as we got something to prove? You guys people don't believe in us.
I mean, I don't think we want to prove anything to anybody. We just rely on whoever's in the locker room. That's all we got, and we just got to go out there and go on a run. At that point, it's just what it is.
Thanks.
John, one last one, and then we're going to Keion.
Yeah, Olivier, it seems like you and Isaiah have really clicked, being able to play together and play comfortably together on the court. What has really changed in your mind from the beginning of the season, since at that time it seems like you all had trouble getting out of each other's ways?
I think it's just we're a new team, so all these connections they kind of click later in the season, and I think that's what happened. It's just being out there and getting to play together all the time, game after game, and I think a lot of things click, and I think that's what you mean. That's what it is.
All right, guys, give us a second here, and we'll pop in Keion. Kent Spencer, go ahead.
Keion, can you kind of take me back to last year's SEC tournament and kind of your thoughts and emotions when you guys were told that the tournament had been canceled and walking off the court, and then obviously later that day when you found out the NCAA tournament had been canceled?
The night before it was canceled, we all kind of had a pretty good feeling that we were going to get shut down. So we went to our scheduled shoot around the next morning. I officially knew it was over once we went to shoot around, and Cal didn't say nothing for the whole hour that we had on the court. He just let us shoot around and do whatever. And, he called us in and said, they're canceling the tournament, possibly going to cancel the NCAA tournament as well. And that's how that went down. It was sad because we thought we really had a chance to make a run. But, unfortunate things happen sometimes.
John Clay?
Keion, obviously, Coach Calipari's had a lot of success in this tournament. I think he's won it 6 times. Does that give you guys any more confidence going in that you have a coach who has done so well in this tournament?
It does. The head man, when he's been through it before, and he went through these tournaments and won plenty of games and won the tournament multiple times. The man who's leading you through the fire knows what he's doing. So that gives us extreme confidence going into it.
Gary Tipton and Gary Graves.
Keion, Coach Cal said on his radio show that Dante shot it well in practice Monday. I'm wondering, how well did he shoot it?
Dante shot the ball extremely well. That's what we need Dante to do. We've all had his back all year. We've been, we get mad at Dante when he doesn't shoot the ball because we know how good of a shooter he is. He brings a different element to our team. And yesterday, Dante shot the lights out.
And just as a follow, like you say, he can really shoot it well. Why do you think he's reluctant at times to do what he's good at?
I don't know. That's a question you would have to ask Dante. All I can say is that, like I said before, anytime he has an inch of daylight to get it off, we want him to put it up.
I wondered if he, feels pressure as a home state guy and a big fan favorite that maybe weighs on a player's mind.
Once again, that's something you have to speak to Dante about. I don't have the ability to jump inside his mind, but our whole team and coaching staff is backing him, and all we want to do is see him do well. So if he is feeling pressure, I hope that he knows that we're with him no matter what.
Gary, go ahead.
Even though you're one of the veteran guys, and I guess you're trying to prepare some of the the younger teammates for this tournament. This is kind of new territory for you too, since you all didn't get to play. What are you anticipating from this, and how do you kind of prepare this team and yourself for the possibility of 4 games in 4 days?
We just gotta be ready for war every single time we step out on that court. We know what position we're in, and we know what we have to do to get it done. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult, but our coaching staff has put together game plans to help us succeed and help us be the best on the court. And we have to go out there, execute, and just go out there and fight and give it all we got.
Yeah. And what do you look forward to with this schedule?
I look forward to see what we're really made of. We got a tough task ahead of us, but I really believe it's something that we can do. So let's go out there and see what we can really do.
John Long, you're next.
Keion, you of anybody from last year after the conference tournament was canceled had to be the most disappointed. You were coming off a great game against Florida, and then subsequently the beginning of this year, you go through that injury. What did you learn from going through that experience, and does that make you that much more grateful to be able to get out on the court and just play?
Yeah. and maybe put things in perspective and try not to take things for granted. It's easy just to think that, for me to think every day I can just get up and play basketball with no worries. But, once the tournament was taken away from us and then, me dealing with my injury, the game was taken away from me for a while. It's difficult, but, God puts things in your way that you can handle, testing your strength. And I got through it, and now we have another challenge ahead of us with 4 games in 4 days, and we can do it. So let's go out there and make it happen.
John Hill, go to you.
Keion, it felt like when Davion went on that run the other day, that was one of the few times all year that the crowd has become, kind of a factor at Rupp. That's really the only guy who plays who's experienced what it's like to play at Rupp in a full crowd. How much has that affected you guys at times this year, and what impact do you think that might have this week at an event that's normally, jam-packed with Kentucky fans but won't be able to?
I think it plays a role, especially home games or even away games where, because our fans do travel really well. And when you go on runs and you get to hear your fans chanting, "Go Big Blue," or, just out there just showing extreme support, that could probably stifle the other teams at times to get in their head a little bit. But, we got to play with the cards that we're dealt, and we got to go out there, and whether our fans are able to be there or not, we still got to go out there and compete.
Kyle Tucker, to you.
Yeah, Keion, let's say the dream scenario happens and you guys are dancing into confetti on Sunday in Nashville. If that has happened, what will be the primary reason? What's the most important thing for this team to do well, to have a chance to make that crazy thing happen?
All it comes down to is, did we fight or not? And 4 games, 4 days is tough. And if you want to do that, you got to go out there and fight every single possession of every single game. And if we do that, we got a really good chance of, like you said, being the ones dancing that confetti when it's all over.
Gary, come back to you.
Yeah, Keion, I wonder what you remember about the first game against Mississippi State. What sort of challenge do they present?
I didn't play that game, but I know from what I can remember, they got two really good guards that can make shots. They got some big guys on the interior that that can really rough it up and make it difficult for you around the rim. And then also, Coach was thrown out that game, and Dantez came in and played extremely well, shot the ball well. We wanted to win that game without Dantez. And, that's really all I can tell you, because I was sitting on the sideline watching.
And Coach mentioned on his radio show that you guys basically will be sequestered in the hotel, right? You can't go out to a restaurant. You can't go out. Basically, what is that like to live like that, sort of, confined that way, other than going to the arena?
It's a business trip. I don't know where we would be going out to anyway if we were allowed to leave. So we're out here to win 4 games in 4 days. I don't see what other attraction or anything else you would want to go when you got when we got the task in front of us that we do.
Guys, last call for Keion. All right. We'll have Coach Calipari available tomorrow down in Nashville.